Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning into Spelman 350. I'm Kalin Tate, and I'm sitting here with a very special guest, a woman of strength, a woman of bravery. She's here to tell us her story about her near death experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Sandra Bland. Thank you. So, tell us about your experience with the Texas official, the Texas officer.
Yes, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was just driving down the highway like on a normal day, and I looked up in my rearview mirror and I saw the police officer speeding towards me.
Mm.
I didn't think he was coming for me, so I thought it was an emergency, so I just instinctively got out of the way. So as I pulled over, he turned on the light and he got behind me, and I realized that he was pulling me over.
Mm.
And so I rolled down my windows and he came around to the passenger side, asked me for my driver's license and my registration.
Mm-hmm.
And I reluctantly pulled it out and I handed it over to him, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't understand necessarily why he would be asking me for it because I wasn't doing anything wrong before I saw him in my rearview mirror. I was just driving.
Right.
And so he came around and he asked me, he says, "Is everything okay?" And I said, "Well, no. I mean, I don't understand why you're asking me for these things. I didn't do anything." But I gave it to him and I just sat there and I waited for a minute.
Right. Wow. Wow. Was he giving you a hard time?
Not really at this point. It wasn't like he was giving me a hard time. He was just being direct with his questions and his answers. He
Okay.
did tell me, though, that I failed to put on my signal light when I was changing lanes to get out of the way.
Okay. Okay. So, were you irritated?
I was, because again, I didn't think I was speeding. I was just driving. And then I got out of the way. And if I did fail to turn on the signal light, it was only because he was speeding up so fast behind me. I thought he was going for something else. And so I was just trying to move out of the way. It wasn't a planned change of lanes, it was just me moving out of the way.
Wow. Wow. No words. We were actually able to get dash cam footage from that incident from the Texas officials. Take a look.
Okay, ma'am. You okay?
I'm waiting on you. This is your job. I'm waiting on you. What do you want me to
Oh,
do?
you seem very irritated.
I am. I really am. But I feel like it's crap for what I'm getting the ticket for. I was getting out of your way. You were speeding up, tailing me. So I move over and you stop me. So yeah, I am a little irritated, but that doesn't stop you from giving me a ticket. So let's continue.
Are you done?
You asked me what was wrong, and I told you.
Okay.
So now I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. You mind putting out your cigarette, please, if you don't mind?
I'm in my car. Why do I have to put out my cigarette?
Well, you can step on out now.
I don't have to step out of my car.
Step out of the car.
Why am I?
Step out of the car.
No, you don't have the right. You
Step
do not-
out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove
I
you.
refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself. and
Step
talk to
out
you.
or I will remove
I am
you.
getting removed for a failure.
Step
to signal.
out or I will remove you. I'm giving you a lawful order. Get out of the car now or I'm going to
Calling my
remove
lawyer.
you.
And I'm calling my lawyer.
I'm going to yank you out of here.
Okay, you're going to yank me out of my car?
Get out.
Okay. All right.
25.
Let's do this.
Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah. Don't touch me.
Get out of the car.
Don't touch me. I'm not under arrest. You don't have the right to take
You
me out
are
of my
under
car.
arrest.
I'm under arrest for what?
25,
For what?
7 County FM 1098, just
For
north
what?
of 290. Send me another unit. Get out of the car.
Another unit, FM 1098.
Get out of the car now.
Why am I being apprehended? You're trying to give me a ticket
I
for
said
your failure?
get out of the car.
Why am I being apprehended? You
I'm
just
giving
opened
you a
my car
lawful order.
door. You just
I'm
opened
gonna
my car
drag you
door.
out of here.
So you threatening to drag me out of my own car.
Get out of the car.
And then you
I will
stun
light
me?
you up. Get out
Wow.
now.
Wow.
Get out of the
Really,
car.
for a failure to signal. You're doing all of this for a
Get
failure
over there.
Right, yeah. Yeah, let's take this to court. Let's do
Go
it.
ahead.
For a failure to signal. Yep, for a failure to signal.
Get off the phone.
On my school.
Get off the
I'm not on
phone.
the phone. I have a right
Put
to
your
record.
phone
This is
down.
my property. This
Put
is
your
my
phone
property.
down.
Sir?
Put your phone down right now. Put your phone down.
One word. Wow. All of this over a ticket and a failure to turn on your turn signal?
Yes. You know what? I was terrified. I mean, terrified. But I was even more terrified when he brought me down to that police department. He was pulling and tugging and pushing me around and talking to me disrespectfully, like he said, stand your ass over there by the wall and take this damn picture. And I was like, really? I mean, what you gonna do if I don't? I mean, you gonna handcuff me, handcuff my feet, arrest me again? I mean, what are you gonna do? And then I could just feel him breathing down my neck. And he got up real close to me and he said, what you gonna do about it now, nigga? And then, in that moment, I just got tired and I just knew. I had to fight. I was not about to let him keep talking to me the way that he did. I had to do something.
Why? Why did you fight back? I mean, anybody else would have just let it happen.
Well, the reason I chose to fight back is because I was thinking about those other people that came before me, like Eric Garner, Ayanna Jones, Trayvon Martin, so many, Jordan Davis. All of them had to give up their lives senselessly. And I said to myself, you won't get mine.
Wow.
You won't take mine. I have no choice. I had to fight not just for mine, but for those people behind me.
Wow. Powerful. So how did you fight back?
Well, the way that I fought back is I pushed him off of me. He pushed me back. He pushed me up against the wall. He tried to hold me down. He even called for another inmate to come and try to hold me. But it was just too late. There was no holding me. Out the door I went.
Do you understand how lucky you are and how blessed you are? I mean, he could have pressed charges. There was no manhunt for you. I mean, this honestly was a blessing because he could have killed you.
Yes, I do know. I'm blessed. And coming to the fixed determination to run away, we did more than what Patrick Henry did when he resolved upon liberty or death. When he did that, I decided I was going to prevail. You see, Kalin, prison is just a modern day slavery. 85% of black people are in prison for insufficient charges or for things they didn't even do at all. Some are even forced in against their own will, like my brother Troy Davis. The police officer is the slave master, and the prisoners, they're the slaves. And the punishment is working for free with physical abuse.
As their punishment?
As their punishment, yes, right.
I noticed in your book, congratulations, it's been released in all bookstores, entitled Sandy Speaks. One of the quotes that you mentioned was, "For of all slaveholders with whom I have ever met, religious slaveholders are the worst. I have ever found them the meanest and the basest, the most cruel and cowardly of all others." Well, what did you mean by this?
Well, I was actually quoting Frederick Douglass here from his self-written narrative, Frederick Douglass, An American Slave. I felt that this was the most prevalent of our time, where blacks are oppressed by some of the most religious people in this world. They believe that they're so different that we can cause them harm, like the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan. That's supposed to be a religious group of Christians, really? And I bet you this police officer was a Christian, raised in church, and he was the most cowardly person I've ever been faced with in my life.
Wow. Never heard references like that before. So you also quoted him a lot. You said, "I prefer to be true to myself, even at the hazard of incurring the ridicule of others, rather than to be false and incur my own abhorrence." This was a very powerful quote.
Yes, it was. What I've just decided is I just must be who I am in order for people to hear my message clearly. We can do a lot, but one thing we can't do any longer is to remain silent. We have to fight back in order to progress. Frederick Douglass, he was the epitome of our time. The narrative that he wrote was just predicting what was to come 200 years later. People have forgotten that. But I refuse to forget. And I want to encourage other people not to forget. And I've decided that I'm going to use my voice to make sure that we all remember.
Now, as we come to a close, I have to ask. I have to ask you, Sandra. What do you think would have happened if you didn't fight back?
You know, I think the name of my book would have been another Black Lives Matter hashtag. You know, that's what I know. I know that's what would have happened.
Wow. Thank you very much, Sandra, for your time. Everyone in the audience will receive a free Sandy Speaks book upon leaving today. Let's give it up one more time for Sandra Bland. Thank you. We'll be right back.